I am not breaking any law. I'm a federal patient. I'm using marijuana. I'm legal.
Yes, Irv Rosenfeld is given 300 joints every 25 days by the same federal government that classifies marijuana as a Class 1 drug. The pot is used to treat a rare bone disease which causes painful tumors, and he's been getting it now for more than 30 years. It's a bizarre mix of medicine, politics, and law, and Irv joins us now from his home in South Florida. Good to see you. So I think people want to know why in the world you're getting these drugs. So what is the story behind the federal government actually providing you marijuana?
In 1971, I discovered that medical cannabis or medical marijuana was better than the narcotics and drugs they were giving me. And I was a patient, not a criminal, and I knew if I continued to use it illegally, I would be arrested. So I decided to take on the federal government. I started in 1972, and they started a program in 1978 called a Compassionate Care Investigational New Drug, which I finally was able to win under the Food and Drug Administration and became the second person in the United States in November of 1982 to receive, again, 300 medical cannabis cigarettes every 25 days.
And there aren't many of you getting this?
No, misfortune is there's only 4 of us left in the country.
4?
Yeah, George Bush Sr. shut the program down that we're under in 1992.
And who's providing it?
It's Uncle Sam and the taxpayers' money, including my own taxpayers' money. The marijuana grows, the cannabis grows on the campus of the University of Mississippi. The government farm's been there since 1968. They then take the entire plant and they ship it by truck to Raleigh, North Carolina, to Raleigh Research Triangle. There it's freeze-dried, put into cigarette form by a regular cigarette rolling machine, and they take it and they freeze 300 cigarettes to a tin can, and that's how us patients get it. It's then shipped to our pharmacies, and it's shipped by Federal Express.
Part of what's interesting about your story is there aren't many people who have been using marijuana for medical purposes for decades, and people wonder about the effects. So what has been your experience in using it for so long?
The effects of using medical cannabis for all these years has been this, that I've stopped taking all my opiates or narcotics since 1990. I take no muscle relaxants, I take no sleeping pills. So cannabis is able to supplant all those different medicines that I used to take. That's why the pharmaceutical companies aren't very happy with me. My lung capacity is 108% of normal. So again, I've never smoked cigarettes, but again, as far as cannabis, it's not deterred my lung capacity at all. And I'm a very healthy disabled person. I'm able to work every day as a financial advisor, which is a very stressful job to begin with. On weekends, I help teach, I volunteer and teach at an organization called Shake a Leg in Miami. We teach mentally and physically challenged and economically challenged children and adults how to sail adaptive sailboats. And even though I'm going to be 60 years old at the end of this month, I still play softball on Sundays. And I'm able to do all this because I have the right medicine. And without it, if I were still alive, most likely I'd be on disability. I'd be a drain on society, not a productive member of society. And I wonder, sitting at home, how many people today, if they were able to get the right medicine, could get back to work and be productive.
You've mentioned that Big Pharma doesn't want people to know about the benefits of marijuana. So I guess I'm interested in what you're getting at there. You think there's some effort to hide the actual usefulness of this?
Oh, there definitely is. I mean, first of all, I'm a perfect example of that. I've been getting it for 30 years. That means my doctors put reports in every 6 months. Do you think the federal government has ever used those reports to see how positive I am and see how well I'm doing? No, because the pharmaceutical lobby is one of the biggest in the country, and they don't want to see people not taking their drugs. Okay, it's like me. I mean, I used to take Dilaudid, I used to take Valium, I used to take Quaalude, I used to take Butazolid and Alka, Lioresal, Paraffin Forte. I mean, that's a lot of pills and a lot of money.
Last thing on your fascinating personal story, as you said, there's just a handful of you in the whole country. What happens when you go to the airport? There has to have been an awkward moment or two.
Yeah, over the 30 years, I've had quite a few awkward moments where I've actually been detained. And now in Fort Lauderdale, I call a lieutenant and let him know what flight I'm taking, what time I'm supposed to leave, and what time I'll be going through security. So they send a letter then to the police department at Fort Lauderdale International. So therefore, if TSA does stop me with my tin can, they're notified about that.
Irv, thanks a lot.
Well, Brooke, one last thing.
Yeah, sure.
My book.
Yeah.
Okay, if anybody wants to know the history of the medical marijuana movement in this country, they need to get a copy of my book. It's my life story about all the different situations where I've been busted by Mickey Mouse, I've been popped by DEA, all the different stories that I've had. And this will give you also the history of the medical marijuana movement. And it's called My Medicine. It's available at mymedicinethebook.com. That's www.mymedicinethebook.com for a signed copy.
Even if you weren't selling a product as consumer-friendly as marijuana, you seem to be a pitch man for anything. Thanks a lot.
All right, take care, Brooke.
That'll do it for us for tonight. We will fold things up. Hope to see you back here tomorrow.